let's see what we can make with this.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wolf Ridge Woodworking. So I've got an exciting project. I've turned some of this spalted maple, I believe it's spalted maple, but I've turned this before. I've had some challenges with it being a little bit punky. So as one of the commenters made a comment, I'm going to try some of the wood hardener. I don't think I'm going to use it until I come to the sanding, because that's where I noticed some of the challenges is it would sand the softer wood, so it would go away faster than the harder spot. So I didn't get a smooth finish. So I'm going to try this wood hardener, but I'm going to try it later. So what we have is we have a piece of, I believe again it's spalted maple. It is roughly almost 10 inches wide, and it is about 2 inches deep. So we are going to make a bowl out of this, and I'm going to try some interesting different shapes, I should say. At least in my head, I've got an idea. So you'll have to stick with me to see what that is. So I'm going to find the center. We're going to use our worm screw to hold it until we flip it over. So just I'm going to find roughly the center. I'm about to the maximum size of my center finder here. So that looks like it. And I'm going to get the drill with I think it's a 3/8 inch drill bit, and drill the hole, get it mounted on the lathe. So just going to drill the hole here. That should be good. And now we're going to go get it mounted on the lathe. I've got it mounted to the worm screw in the lathe, and this is probably one of the wider bowls that I've turned. But anyway, so I'm going to start out with my spindle roughing gouge to try and get it a little bit rounder. It's a little bit out of whack, just a little bit, and we'll see how fast I can turn it. Once I settle in on a speed, I'll have that on the screen in the lower corner. As always, we're going to be using our face shield, and in the past when I've turned this particular wood, it's been very dusty. So not only am I going to wear my face shield, I'm also going to wear my razor mask to keep my lungs safe. So let's get started. We've got our bowl trued up. I've put some lines here because the particular shape that I'm going for is a rolled over edge and then a gentle slope, and it'll have a small foot. So now I've got this mark here. I've also got a mark here, and I'm going to take this material out. Once I have that material out, I can start to shape the bottom of the bowl. I've almost got the shape that I want. I still need to refine this a little bit more, work on putting a dovetail here. At the end, I'm going to put this back into a chuck and hollow this out so it's a foot that it's sitting on, but it'll be more of a decorative foot. So now what I'm trying to do is get in and start making this this cove here, I guess you could say. That was really my first time using the bowl gouge. You know, please comment if you saw that maybe I was doing it incorrectly. I was trying to make sure when I got closer to right here that I didn't get a catch with that wing here. So that's why I switched over to my Carbide tool. I just wasn't as comfortable. Probably need either a detail gouge or maybe a kind of like an Ellsworth or an Irish grind on the bowl gouge to be able to get in and not have that catch right here. So anyway, now I'm going to go in, like I said, and start working on this, refining the edge, and we'll go from there. I've got the shape that I like, and I'm really pleased with the finish. I sharpened all of my tools before I got started, so I knew I was dealing with sharp tools. So this is going to require some sanding, but prior to the sanding, I am going to apply this wood hardener just to make sure that I don't have any of those issues that I had before. Probably not going to apply it here, but mainly just the underside. And according to the directions, it takes about 2 to 4 hours, which works out perfectly. I have somewhere I have to be, and so I'm going to apply this and then come back tomorrow and finish and sand it and then flip it around and do the inside of the bowl. But right now, I am really happy with the shape. It's, you know, you have a vision in your head, and it's so amazing. That's what I love about this this craft, is having something and an idea in your head, and with your own two hands creating that. There's just something very rewarding about that. But anyway, so enough talking. Let's get to applying this. So I let it sit overnight, and I just came back and I did a little bit of a shear scrape on it off camera, and now I'm going to go through the grits of the sandpaper, starting at 150 and go through 320, and then I'll apply my sanding sealer and Yorkshire grit, and then I'm going to be using the OB Shine juice. I'll have a link to that down in the description. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then I'll flip it over. I've got it turned around in the chuck. I didn't apply the finish yet because I need to, finish the foot once I get done with it completely. So now I'm going to work on facing it off, rolling the edge, and then starting to work on that hollowing out and maintaining the profile that I have. It's a rather shallow bowl. And now that I look at it, if I had it to do over again, I'd make that foot a little bit bigger. It's 2 inches wide, and this is probably going to be around 10 inches. I think it should have been more like 3 inches. Nothing I can do about it now, but, so anyway, that's what the plan is. I'm happy with the shape. However, I can't get all of this tear out right here. It's not bad, but I just wish I could get it a little bit better. The camera is probably so slight the camera can't pick it up. But anyway, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to apply the wood hardener here. Then I'm going to come back and try my 1-inch round scraper and see if I can turn it on a 45 and see if I can get some of that out. So that's what I'm going to try. I mean, like I said, I'm really happy with the shape. Again, practice with the bowl gouge, that was a lot of fun. It's my first time really ever doing a bowl with a bowl gouge. So that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot with that, and I think I'm going to continue using that because it seemed to do better at hollowing the bowl out than when I traditionally used the Carbide round cutter. But anyway, so I'm rambling on, but anyway, so that's what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply this wood hardener and then go from there. I think that's as good as I'm going to be able to get it. So now I'm going to hit it with the sandpaper and start with the 80 and go up to 320. All right, now we're going to apply the OB Shine Juice. So this will be my first time doing this, so I just watched the video, and according to that, it says really apply a lot. You really want to get the towel soaked. And then you're just going to start turning on the lathe. Just going to do a little bit more and then I'll turn it on. And then you just want to slowly build up the layers. Okay. So now I'm just going to turn the lathe on. Let's go around. I think around 500 we'll start with, and this is just to kind of even out the shellac. We've run into a bit of a snag. The jaws won't open up wide enough to fit the bowl. So not a big deal. I think that it's going to be okay. So let me reposition the camera and let me have a heartfelt conversation with you. So I'm going to consider this both a success and a failure. And here's why. The success, was as I mentioned earlier, it's quite rewarding when you have something in your head and with your hands you can create that. That again, that's what makes this craft so amazing. And musicians and artists, that's the same concept. As they've got a song in their head, they're able to perform it, or they've got something in their head and they can draw it. So this is quite rewarding in that aspect. The other thing is I was able to use some tools that I hadn't used before, namely that bowl gouge. Had a really good experience with that bowl gouge. I really enjoyed using it, and I will definitely use it in upcoming projects. I felt that it did so much better of a job hollowing out the bowl than the Carbide round tool did, which is just a scraper. So anyway, so those were the good things. The bad things is one, I really just I couldn't avoid it. My jumbo jaws weren't big enough to hold the bowl, and therefore I wasn't able to finish the foot. In the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal. The other thing is just spalted wood. Man, it is so challenging, and I think I might have bit off more than I can chew, and I definitely will probably not be doing any more spalted wood for a little bit. I'm going to start trying to hone my craft with other woods that are less challenging. And that's not to say that you shouldn't, you should walk away from a challenge, because I have tried a couple of these, and it's just not the time yet. So I'm going to start working with other woods and really honing my craft and getting better at that, getting better at the scraper, not the scraper, but the bowl gouge. The scraper, I still have such a challenge of just kissing the wood and just taking off a little bit. I tend to want to dig in, and that might have been some of my challenge here with this wood. Anyway, if this was something that you enjoyed, I encourage you, please, hit that like button. And, for comments, leave me any comments that you might have, whether, it was something that I could have improved upon. If there was anything that maybe I was unsafe about and you noticed that, please let me know. Or if there's just any kind of words of encouragement. I enjoy all of those types of comments, and I really encourage you to leave those comments. If this is something that you enjoyed and you want to see additional videos, click here. There's some more videos that you can check out. If you're not a subscriber, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, and you can do that by clicking here. And once you subscribe, click that bell so that you're notified when I upload a new project. Thank you.